Let's talk about facts when I say that I've been here a while. Walk in my shoes, I can tell you, you won't make a mile. I am the judge and the jury, so put them on trial. Murder is foul, allow me to teach a new theory, the purpose is vile. There's no coming back, so you can eat shit with a smile. I've been in the game, ran up the bag, just to put it in the pile. Create the frame, bought up the land, now we important.
2, 1, record.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You just went too fast. You jumped the gun.
Why I jumped the gun?
Because you just went fast as fuck.
What's with the muscles?
What's going
He's
on?
showing his muscles, man. Showing you that he's working out.
You've been working out.
You been out working?
Not even a little bit.
Shit is ridiculous already.
Phone on vibrate.
Make sure my beard don't rub my mic. I might do it.
Your beard don't rub your mic?
Yeah, it might. It's kind of close.
It'd be like,
I got it kind of up.
We noticed that with you already.
I know. Like you never did nothing. Like
you said.
She. Oh,
Nah.
this motherfucker.
Little shit.
Yours is like what was that movie?
One of them shit you blamed me wasn't mine. You did. I went and did research. I was like, yo, it's okay.
That wasn't me.
Yo, he called me. That nigga called.
It's okay.
Nigga called me and be like, yo, man, you gotta do something about this. I'm like, yo.
He said, yo, I don't got no neck.
Yeah.
What you want me to do? I don't got a neck.
If a man tell you he ain't got no neck, you gotta let him ride on that,
Yeah,
man.
it's crazy.
That nigga talking about put that shit on my beard.
He's like, what is going on? Yo, anyway, we back, man. You know what I'm saying? So we back. We're getting ready for season 2. We got a lot of big things going on.
So this is season 1 semi-finale or?
Season 1 closeout, man. We're
Okay.
done, man. We don't, all that's left is save the best for last. Us. You know what I'm saying? So we took some time out, just had to deal with, my brother over here was a little under the weather,
Yeah, bro. They put me on like a pause, I want to say. And I really feel like that. Like when stuff happened to me, sometimes I look at the bright side of it, or try to find the silver lining in it. Like I think I really just needed to fall back because how things was happening to me, not even happening to me, just how it was going. It was just like fall back. Like even, so I had caught COVID, right? I got it from my son, so I couldn't fight. I couldn't avoid it, you know what I'm saying? My youngest son had got it, so I caught it. But fortunately, it was just like a day of aches, and then the rest was just waiting to clear the test. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
you had baby COVID. You had the baby COVID.
I had baby COVID, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it was like, but I had to chill. I still chilled for 2 weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks, not even, you know what I'm saying? Being around people, nothing. But I needed that because I came to a lot of conclusions, and here we are.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, it's crazy how life or God will just give you something to make you just slow down and sit down. I did the same thing when I had COVID. I had a whole bunch of time to reflect and not talking to anybody and just being confined to one space.
Yeah.
For me it was from, I think I got sick in April and I didn't get better until July. July 15th.
April 20?
I think it was April.
21. What year?
Man, I have no sense of time when it even comes to that.
So
Mine was early on in it. Mine was early on, when everything had just started.
Yeah, so you must have put it 2020, like big pandemic time.
Yeah, so because everything, everybody started closing down March 23rd. So that had to be 2000.
Bro, let me tell you some real shit.
Right?
That shit closed down the day after my birthday.
Oh, so you remember that? Yeah.
I remember that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. It was crazy because I tell you, my mom was in the hospital. Thank God she's okay. She was in the hospital like 2.5 weeks. And to this day, sometimes we think it was COVID, but we don't know.
Right.
Thank God she's doing great now. But she was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks. And I was supposed to go on vacation for my birthday. Mm-hmm. And the day after, she was released the day before my birthday. And the day after, I wanted to go to the hospital to take care of the nurses who, you know what I mean, because they did a great job and shit. But they locked the day after she was released.
They locked everything
the
down.
hospital down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I remember that shit vividly.
So that was like mid-March. Because I remember, I think
your birthday is this
the 17th.
Right.
I was fine for my birthday, I'm pretty sure. Again, I don't have...
That's right.
It be like that, though, right?
The same birthday as my mom's.
Yeah. It's St. Patty's Day. So I'm pretty... I think I got sick in April. I want to say I made it through March because I think everything shut down March 23rd around there. You know, just governor and whatever. And then I was home for a while. Everything was fine. And then my wife got sick. And then I got sick. And that was April. And she got... As she was getting better, we didn't really know what it was. As she was getting better, you know, it just hit me. So it was like, you know, 1-2 punch. And I was down for the count. You know, so that was probably one of the scariest times I've ever had, like, period. Like, you know, we survive a lot. We survive
yeah, you know, come on,
street. We survive, you know, just a day-to-day, you know, life and everything, but you just get hit over the head with something out of nowhere. You're not prepared for that.
The whole pandemic experience was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Because, it affected people differently, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some
Big
people
learning
straight
experience.
asymptomatic. And then you got, like, you was light. Like, you know what I mean?
But the catch to it is this is where, like, this whole pandemic thing, I'm, like, really watching it and just, you know what I'm saying, feeling it out. Because I got sick. The first time I got it, it was before the hype. It was right before they even announced that we had a pandemic. And it was, like, I think around January 2020. That's when it came, right?
Right.
Whatever, it was like February,
February,
January, somewhere around there.
yeah.
A lot of people got sick. They even did a story about it, but I ain't hear nothing else about it. We all got sick, and that, I was done. Like, I was laid out, everything. I had everything, chills, all that. I was done for 2 weeks. So the second time around, I feel like my body built up some type of immunity to it. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be wrong. I don't know. Like we all guessing at this point. Dr. Fauci and them guessing, so whatever. But I feel like I built up an immunity to it. Whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, take it for what, I just think that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And while I was sick, I just was like, thinking about it. I was like, yo, I'm not even really feeling the symptoms, and there's people that actually die from this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like, I was happy, but it had me thinking, and I was like, all right, so is it that underlying conditions were killing these people, or and the COVID just, you know what I'm saying? The COVID just exposed it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just a lot. It's a lot to unfold. I'm just paying attention to it. I can't lie. I'm just looking at it. And then I'm watching my sons fight that like nothing. My son was jumping around through his whole COVID experience, you know what I'm saying? Playing, like he's having fun, you know what I'm saying? A little off, but like just enjoying himself. And I'm like, right, let's see.
Like, my experience was different too, bro, because it was like if people around me and shit catching that shit. When I caught that shit, it was like weird because I had the symptoms, but I guess I was quote unquote sort of like asymptomatic because I knew somebody else sick. So when I got sick, I was like one day I was chilling in the crib. I ain't gonna hold you, and I was like, yo, I feel like from my fucking knee to my ankle, my feet, like I was like, yo, my shit felt like I was working out. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. It was like I was working out. I was like, yo, the fuck, why my shit feel like that? But it wasn't bothering me, like, you feel what I'm saying? And then like the next day I had a little cough and shit. I was like, oh shit. And that shit breezed. Like, and then my people was like, yo, I test positive. You feel what I'm saying? So I was like, oh shit. So I immediately go get tested. I be taking like mad random fucking COVID tests. And that shit, them shits usually take like 48 hours or whatever. Yeah. Nigga, that shit came back the next morning. That shit was like positive. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. I had a wild ass experience though because tell you niggas a crazy story. My refrigerator had went. It's a refrigerator that I bought. It's nice as fuck. I don't know how it went, but it went. And they were supposed to come look at the shit like that Monday. I test positive on that Sunday. So the whole time through COVID, and that's when they had the 2-week 14-day shit.
Yeah.
I was stuck in a crib with no refrigerator.
Oh man.
None of that shit. Yo, it was the weirdest fucking feeling, bro. Because I was in the crib, and that's when COVID was hitting. It's like you don't want nobody around you. You definitely don't want no family members and none of that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's when I got introduced to Uber Eats. I hate that shit to this day. Yo. I swear, that shit was crazy. Like I was buying a fucking burger just to keep a taste. It was like $30 for a fucking burger, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
They
You went to that shit's good. That shit was crazy as fuck, bro.
You didn't get it till late, right?
I got mine October 5th.
So
2021, yeah.
It's crazy though. You see how accurately he remembers the date. Yeah. It's a lot of shit.
It was Monday, October 5th, 2021.
You remember when you bought that light?
2020.
You remember when you bought those sets? That set of those lights?
No.
You don't remember that shit, right? No.
I think
I had COVID though.
I think
that's crazy.
For me, like one of the reasons why I don't have any time frame on that is because it was just a dark moment. You know what I'm saying? It was just like I completely fell apart. Like breathing changed. Like it's the first time I can say that I actually like felt that I was trapped.
October 5th.
You know what I mean? Like you had it written down.
Nah, I just went back to 2020 and it's October 5th, that Monday.
Feeling like you sleep and then you're dreaming like you're just trapped in a maze and you just can't get out.
Yo,
that was the entire thing. Like seriously, that was the entire.
That's how it was for me. Yes. I was hallucinating. When I was sick, I was like in this corner. It was black and white in this room.
And you just can't get out.
As I started getting better, the room started getting wider. And I could see around the corner to the door to get out this room I was stuck in. I'm dead ass.
Yeah,
no lie.
It's crazy. Yo, listen though. That's why I say the experiences are all so different because I was in my crib, but I was tripping because y'all know me, I'm laid back. You know what I mean? I be in the fucking crib chilling. And when I had to be in the house, when I couldn't go out for 14 days, I started tripping. That's when it bothered you, right? Yeah, right. I started, I was looking, I ain't gonna hold you. And this is why, like, mental health is a real live, serious ass thing. I know that. Because I started to, like, go to different windows in my crib to get different views to be like, you know what I mean? Like, I would go upstairs and be like, I can see all this from upstairs. Let me go to this window. That was my only way out, bro. That shit was weird. And with me, thank God, I don't downplay it at all. I was, like I said, sort of asymptomatic. So it was so scary to where I didn't know.
Mad annoying, but
it's crazy outside, right?
Yeah. They having church outside.
Yeah, the nigga definitely wasn't talking about me being mad.
It's church outside.
Yeah, it's church outside. Kanye outside right now. But I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
You was trying to find different views. You was trying to, you know what I'm saying? Maybe normalize yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, it was a fucked up experience, and if that shit come back, I'll bring it back. But it was just crazy, bro. Because I was saying I was at a point to where being asymptomatic, sort of, it was like I didn't know where I was with that shit once I tested positive. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, God forbid, am I getting worse? Am I getting better? Like, where the fuck am I? Because I had the symptoms.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't know till somebody called me and was like, did you lose your smell and your taste? And I was like, I keep alcohol in my crib. I went and got the alcohol. That shit was like 75%. I put that shit under my nose and didn't smell nothing. I put that shit closer and pressed it. You know how that shit, like the air push it out? That shit burnt my nails. I said, oh shit, I can't smell nothing.
That's crazy because I never lost my smell or my taste.
That's weird.
But I lost everything else.
I never got a headache. I had a fever. I had a fever. I never got a headache. Lost my taste and smell.
That shit affected. And so it's interesting, right? Because like you said, if you're dealing with underlying issues, does it affect certain shit different, things, right? Yeah. So I wonder if it interacts like that. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, is it something with our body chemistry that reacts to it in different ways?
Because I didn't lose taste or none of that.
I think one of the things, like not to cut you off, but I think like one of the things that helped me was because I went through all the stuff early, like as far as what they were giving the packs, the hydro, whatever that was, chlorine. So I mean, none of that stuff worked. You know, the doctor will give it to you one day and then call you the next day and tell you to stop taking it because it's just not working. And then multivitamins and vitamin D. I think that's one of the things that really, really helped me get back to the point. And then a friend of mine made a really, really good point that, you know, just being African-American men, we're naturally vitamin D deficient.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it takes, we just walk around and we don't even realize that. So I don't even know if you guys take vitamin D or not, but it's important for us to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I know you tap into all,
Well, that was another thing about me too. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, during COVID now, before, I get up in the morning and I take like a shot of fucking, I'll have lime juice with ginger and turmeric. You feel what I'm saying? I drink tea.
Yeah, my tea is every
night.
That's
you feel what I'm saying? And I use like raw ginger. I use like raw shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the type of regimen like I was on. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like sea moss. I put sea moss in my fucking tea like once a day. I don't do it twice, but I drink tea in the morning. I drink tea. People be like, "Yo, you drinking tea?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's hot as fuck." Yeah, so what?
They don't understand that one. That's where I'm at with it right now.
City of New Haven, or anybody that sees this from City of New Haven, I got $100 ticket for street sweeping. Sent them my COVID test, everything to them. They denied me. I had to pay the $100. They ain't give a
wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Who's thinking about getting up, going to see Dick? I couldn't not even leave. Like,
you can't even. That's crazy.
That's you got something there.
I mean, but you know what? It's the city, it's the, you know, the different towns and everything. It's DMV. Everything was all screwed up at that time. So people weren't getting their taxes, people weren't getting anything like that. And then all of a sudden, here comes all of it. And it's due now. You know, it's like, what do you do in that case? I mean,
I came out.
We got off on a whole nother different level. It was just, we started off with just, you know, I guess paying attention to the COVID thing. This episode is definitely us, and it's supposed to be us, you know, who we are, because we've been doing this for a few months now, right? Was it 3 months, 4 months?
We started in March.
You know, and
March.
Something like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. You can remember your COVID date, but you can't remember.
Well,
we just started
that COVID date is important.
Right. This shit is important too.
We got 8 episodes?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're
so that's every other week a month. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 4 months. 4 months back. And
we're closing out, and we never really crossed our bridge of who are we. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, who are we to be talking to people who, you know, we know a lot of people collectively. We know everyone, and I'm thankful and grateful for all the guests that come, but we never really got into who we are. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, that's important. We need to do that now. You know what I mean? So, like, my experience with both of you guys, actually, you know, my experience with the three of you stems from music and studio stuff, studio work, and then you with music and clothing. You know what I mean? And you, Joe, like, just your contribution to fashion and music, just from what I know, my opinion has been just great over the years. Like, I know you from when you started Street Alumni Clothing, which was one of
that was big.
One of, if not the best or the hottest clothing line, you know, for that time. And you still haven't, again, my opinion, you still haven't, you know, reached your peak yet, because you still need to get back into it. It was just an impactful line at that point in time. There was nobody else doing it. You know what I mean? So, what was that like for you, jumping into the clothing at that point in time? Like,
you mean like what pushed me into it?
Yeah, what pushed you when you went from being pushed into clothing to being pushed into music, essentially. I guess my question for you would be, what made you start a clothing line? Because I don't think I ever really crossed that bridge with you. It's like, we just met.
Right. And you know, we met at a good point in the clothing line. So it was just like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why we connect instantly. But the reason I started, I got into the clothing shit, like on some joking shit. One of my boys was silly dude, you know what I mean? He used to be around the way, and we used to always crack jokes. We were young. We would get money. You feel what I'm saying? And we had money to spend. So we was like, yo, we used to call him. He used to do dumb shit, right? So we used to call him super stupid. You feel what I'm saying? We didn't just call him stupid, right?
You guys are nice.
So we used to be like, yo, I mean, he's my man though. He'd be like, yo, super stupid. You feel what I'm saying? So me and my right hand man was like, yo, we gonna get some shirts and we gonna make them shits and put super stupid. I said, yeah. I used to always I always been artsy into that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I used to doodle and scrabble. So what I did was I did a Superman logo and I put 2 S's in it. For super stupid. You feel what I'm saying? And we was gonna go, yo, me and my man was pricing our shirts and we was just gonna take the money that we was hustling with and go buy shirts and we were just gonna give them to him, like just on some stupid shit.
As a joke.
And then I kept doodling and I was like, yo, I don't want to invest no money, just waste and throw no money out there like that. You feel what I'm saying? And I said, I took the S that I did the inside of the Superman shit, and I put an A on it because I said, this logo looks dope. I said it's an S. It looks like an S and an A, and it came to me. I said this could be something about me. What am I? And I was like, wow, the streets, blah blah. I was like, I don't want to keep being in the streets or whatever. And I was like, alumni. I was like, street alumni. I said, that's what it's going to be, an S and an A. I said, you know what I mean? Instantly, when I said street alumni, I was like, to graduate from the streets and take your life to the next level. Wow. This is what I'm doing. I ain't fucking with the streets no more. Wow. I'm going to start this clothing company. At that instant, just like that.
That's crazy.
And at that point, I started putting mad logos, like T-shirt designs with that S and A, and I started to perfect the logo. This is the logo right here on my arm, y'all. You know, I started to perfect the logo. And when I did that shit, I said, I showed my man the next day. It was like 6 to 8 T-shirts, no bullshit. And he was like, yo, that shit fire. Yeah. But my man he's a good dude, great dude. It's my best friend. He, niggas was tied up into the street and getting bread. So their vision wasn't my vision at that time, and it was so fresh to me. To where, it was like, yo, we support it, but, entrepreneurship shit, I was always into. You know what I mean? From shit I watched my brothers do, party promoting and you know what I mean, concerts and all of that shit. So I found that clothing was really my first lane like that. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Taking some shit to the next level. So I'll say I speed up a little bit to where that's how I started the clothing company, because I started to take that logo and I put it on clothes. Right. And when I did that, I got an immediate reaction. Nice. People was like, yo, that shit is nice. What did the logo stand for? And I was like, street alumni. So what I did was a lot of people was like, yo, what does the logo stand for? So I took I took a pen and I just script under it. You see the logo. Yeah. I script under it, street alumni. And I was like, oh shit, this it right here. So I started stamping it, and people just started buying it. And when people started asking for it when it was fresh, I already had the concept, yo, this is what it means. Street alumni, graduate from the streets. And like, you know what I mean? I had the whole brand already mapped out at a young age. I was like, yo, wherever you come from, whatever road you travel from, it's a rough road. You know what I mean? So this ain't just designed for us. It's for anybody, wherever you at in life, you had to travel down a pathway, you know what I mean? And that's what street, you know what I mean? That's what street alumni consisted of. And I wanted to brand it like that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I actually started, and I went through some shit with it. You know what I mean? I did trade shows. I did, what I did. Fashion was my world, man. And I got away from it on some other shit, you know what I mean? It the same way I got into it, it kind of caused some problems with me to get out of it.
Are you coming back?
Huh?
You gonna go back to it?
Yeah, I will go back to it eventually. So it's interesting because a lot of times we talk, and niggas be like, yo, I don't keep hearing that shit. So because you asked me, it is some shit that I'm working on currently, but I don't want to say, yeah, I'm going to do this and then the drop next at this point. You feel what I'm saying? But it is some shit I'm working on, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm working it to where it will be branded next time. It will be a brand. You feel what I'm saying? Gotcha. It will be like, I'll give you a perfect example. If you went to the store and to the polo store and grabbed a Ralph Lauren polo, and I ran and grabbed one out of the box that I had from 10 years ago, and we'll stand together and you won't be able to tell the difference. You know why? Because that same polo that you was buying 10 years ago, you could go buy right now. Because he branded that shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking at. I don't want to be into, you know, you can say oversaturated, but you know, as you go on and you learn business, it's like, what is oversaturated? Because I've said it a lot of times. You may have heard me say in an interview at some point that oversaturated, but with growth, I'm learning that nothing is really oversaturated, bro. It's a lot. It's enough for everybody. Right. You feel what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like it's different. Yeah. It's mad different type of mustards in the fucking grocery store. It's what you like, and you understand what I'm saying? And it's price points and all of that shit when it comes to marketing and planning, demographics. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to be strategic with what you do. Sometimes people do things and they're not strategic with what they do. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, when we speak to being strategic about things, like when I first met Kenny's, like you had a small studio. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It was, was it the first?
Chapel Street.
But that wasn't the first one.
That was my very first one.
That was the very first one?
It wasn't even a studio. I had a laptop and some computer speakers.
And
that wasn't even a studio.
To go from that Chapel Street.
I didn't know that was his studio.
Yeah, to go from the Chapel, so the Chapel Street one upstairs.
917 Chapel.
The one that I eventually came in.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, he had a studio downtown that he started.
Right.
And then somehow, I don't know how or why, but I ended up getting in and taking it over. Or...
You know how.
No, I don't know.
That did happen. That's right.
I don't know why.
You did take the space over after I left.
I did. I took the space over after he left.
Right.
I've always somehow implemented myself into everything. With Joe, I just kind of
sounded like you took my man shit. Like I stepped in,
no,
took it over. Like
it wasn't.
Come on, Cotty.
It wasn't.
Come on, Cotty, man. That shit, man. Like
No.
Calculated dude, right?
Yeah,
I think I left the big mixer there and everything, right?
For the record,
I mean, you had the divider in there. The whole room was already set up. I really didn't have to do anything. You know what I mean? It was like I just had to go put my stuff in there.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing with you, but I went to that studio with you one night. It was on the second floor, right? Mm-hmm. Over the art dude. Wasn't it an artist dude?
Well, it was the third floor. Well, second floor, third floor. Yeah. There's a dude across the hall that did. No, well, Lisa's house. Salsa's in there too.
And there was a tattoo place in there.
I seen Lisa last night. Shout out to Lisa.
Yeah, shout out to Lisa.
Lisa Bowen.
And there was a tattoo place down there too at that time.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, that's crazy. But that doesn't seem like the first time that you and I.
No, I met you at
at
the studio.
Yeah. Let's just leave it at that.
For the record, let's tell about, you know what I mean? What the fuck?
It was a studio, but we just not gonna. No. It wasn't nothing like that.
Actually, I met you at the brothel.
I'm joking. I don't really like mention. I mean, if I see him, I'm cordial, but
no.
It's not the person that we just want to give attention to because we don't have to.
No.
Okay. We're gonna say the name, but really, why I look down at dude because I went to this ambassador program when I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school, and it was at Amity High School, and I started roaming the building. I ended up in the music room, and I saw a piece of equipment I liked.
You stole it.
Let me get there. So that night I went home. And like the day or 2 days later, I went to my neighbor and told him I left my keyboard at this high school. He gave me a ride. He gave me a ride out to Amity High School.
Smooth.
Somehow I got into the school. The music, everything was open, and it was locked.
So you don't quite remember, like he said, you don't quite remember how you got in, though.
Well, actually, I know how I got in and everything. Okay. So I put my coat around his window, and I banged the window out the frame to open the door up. Got the keyboard and I was out. My mother asked me where I got the keyboard from. I was
your
like,
limitation is
over.
Your limitation is over.
I'm sure it is.
Oh no, I got locked up, but it was like I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Yeah, that shit. Why you tell us that? This shit was sounding so fucking smooth.
No, listen. I was playing the keyboard Mother asked me where I got the keyboard from because it was like it was actually a Roland XP60.
Oh, so
It was like
you had a
know,
keyboard.
Yeah, keyboard. So I called this dude,
Rick James.
and I'm like, yo, you gotta, look out, be my backup, in case Mother asks where I got it from. So I told her I got it from you, let me hold it or whatever. And he's like, all right, cool. Then he wanted to buy it from me, but he wanted like for the low. But I knew what the keyboard was worth.
Right.
And I went through some trouble to get the keyboard. So I didn't end up selling it to him. So long story short, my mother called me, asked me if I sold the keyboard for whatever. I was like, yes. I had to go down to her job.
You told her, yeah?
What I was gonna say, I was done. So he snitched on me. So I ain't selling the keyboard. So she called the school. School said yeah. And that's why too, because she called the school. School said yeah. So what I'm gonna do?
Wait, the school said what? Yeah, well,
They were missing the keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we had to bring it. Sat in this office. I went to press charges. I went to the Amity jail cell. It was like mad clean. It was like the floor was polished and everything. It was the cleanest cell. Ever. I'm like, all right. I was in there for like a few hours. Then I got a probational officer. I had to meet Aunt Whaley. And then they just,
for the love of music.
For the love
I'm
of
locked
music,
up
man.
for the love of music.
For the record, I got arrested, but everything got cleared. You know what I'm saying? Somebody thought I could
Can't
trust.
afford it to steal the CD.
Threw me under the bus. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But that's why I met G at. He
Let's clarify that. Not in jail. Not in jail. Let's make that clear.
It was at the studio, but G came in. He was mad smooth. He was talking to the dude, and I remember I was at the wall, but he was across from me under the window, and there was a ledge, and he was on the ledge, and he was rapping, and he sounded like Jay-Z to me.
This nigga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Later on, I found out that he just can change his voice.
He does
to sound
that.
like
Yeah, you heard what I say?
different people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how I remember him. And after that, we eventually linked again somewhere down the road. And I always remember that I'm on the chair, straight ahead. He's on a ledge. And he was just spitting, and it was dope. I always remember that image as my first time meeting him.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was young. I was in high school. I was like freshman, so I was young.
Damn, that was a long time ago.
So I love music. So anybody I saw that like did music, I kind of like looked up to him, especially if it was like in a certain circle. And he was in that
So
circle.
you looked up to him before you even actually knew
before
him?
I even knew him.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And Kenny's has always been like a real dude. Just the same type of relationship that you and I had. Just have.
Okay.
Just I'm
Like, he took it
talking
to heart. He was like, "What?"
It sounded like niggas said have, right? Colic. See, that's why I fuck with Colic, boy. I love this.
Maybe he's trying to
nigga.
tell you something. I don't know.
Same kind of
Yeah, right.
relationship that you and I have. It's just been we know each other and we've been around each other for so long.
Right.
And there was a time where I just kind of pushed myself into his fashion show where
And you know how you did that, right?
I know how I did it.
no,
It was
this nigga
needed.
know how he did
It was
He
needed.
act like he don't know what he did.
I know what I did. I know what I was doing at that point in time. But with Kenny's, I've always admired the fact that you always grow. You grow daily. Like it's like Kenny's has always been that guy who just like grows and just multiplies. And then I remember you from a small studio to what you have now. I mean, you're 4 rooms, camera studio, music studio. And people always go, how? Like it's that work ethic. It's that grind. It's what you are just made of, man. So I'm just giving you, flowers and everything. What you've been doing all these years is extremely dope, and your vision has always been dope.
But before we get to the how, it's like what was it? What was it like? When I met you, I don't know if I met you through music or it was video. Videography, yeah. Because I should have did the video.
Audubon,
Right.
the former artist.
Right. That was dope.
For the label.
Yeah, that was dope. That was the first time I met you. That shit was legit. I think that was the first video you shot too.
It was because you had gave me some pointers. You actually gave me pointers.
Yeah, we worked together.
The cuts and stuff
we
like
worked
that.
together.
So.
It was dope. It came together dope. I remember we sat down. And we talked about that. Shit was dope. But when did you? I'm gonna keep it funky with you. When I first met you, I'm into this type of shit, as we all know. I knew you was dope when I first met you, though. Real shit. but when I seen your work, I was like, yo, this nigga is dope. And I got to him, I was like, yo, I just was wondering, like, when I seen the shit that you had, like, what you have now is crazy, but when I seen the shit that you had back then, I was like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? I'm just for the record, I'm gonna keep it funky. I was like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Like, this nigga got a gold mine over here. Like, not saying that you wasn't eating, he was eating, definitely eating, but I was like, I don't know this nigga. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know this nigga over here. So I was like, yo, let's shoot this video. But when did you fall in love with like taking pictures and shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was it music first or was
music was first?
Did you play in the church and shit when you were younger?
I asked my grandmother for a keyboard when I was 8 years old. She said you had to get the Holy Ghost.
And you did, and you stole one.
And you went and got that. You was like, I don't know about the Holy Ghost.
That's crazy.
He said, Grandma, I'm going to Holy Ghost one. How about that? I got a Holy Ghost one. How about that? Look.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You went
I was 8 years old. And actually,
shout out to Grandma.
When I was in high school, I was like 16.
Grandma still alive?
Like four? Nah, she passed away.
Bless her soul, let her rest in peace. But still, shout out to Grandma.
But so it all started with music overall, and then I started a graphic T-shirt company in 2007, 2008, and I got man, it's crazy how much she looked out for me. And how much I've learned after the fact that everything I do, I got a lot from her. She loves electronics.
That's what's up.
When I was small and going on trips, she used to like let me hold her camera, and I would like fool around with the camera or whatever. And
this is Grandma, right?
Grandma.
Yeah.
And as I learned, asked my mother, I was like random questions about what she had, and she would tell me that she just loved knickknacks, just loved all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
And like my family, we're not like really tight, so we don't know things like that about each other. But when we, it's one of those things we got to we'll show up, type deal. But she will always look out. My first keyboard before I left my room and got the first place downtown, I went and got my CNA license, but she bought the keyboard for me, and I just paid her back for it. When I got the camera, she bought the camera for me. I paid her back for it because I want to do my own campaigns for my T-shirts or whatever. Before she passed away, she wanted to come work for me here at the studio.
Oh, wow.
She like really, 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 really supported me. But she was still religious, so it was a lot of things she didn't understand.
Right.
Some things she didn't want me to do.
Right.
And I get it, but she still supported me in every single way. Like she spoiled me.
That's important, man.
Solid, man.
I'm just wondering, like, because you're Mr. Everything. Because it's not only the music and the photography and all that stuff. It's also like the carpentry that you put into it. Because I remember being in the studio, that first studio, it was just a blank room. But when I got there, it was a room divided, and then it's painted, and I'm like, this dude does all that stuff on his own.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not even ask him how. I just be looking at his Instagram and be like, this nigga back at that other room.
Yeah.
I never asked you about.
I still got the vlog to this day. I haven't put out yet. I thought about it today. I'm like, I gotta put this vlog out because it was green. It was a green room. There was no wall, no speakers, no TV, no light, nothing.
I remember when you first started, and I was like, this nigga got the swoosh shit today, like real shit. Because I'm like, yo, and you do this shit alone, it's fucking weird,
makes
bro.
No sense at all.
That's why I never asked you, like, yo, how'd you do this? Because I'm watching you, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? How do you build this shit yourself? Like, what the fuck is where's your mind process? Like, when you real shit, like, take me through what was it like putting together that other room?
The other room?
Like, from start to finish.
But actually, every room, I'll bring you back. Every room that I got, aside from the music studio, which was the first room, this room had, it was storage. And the room next to the music studio was storage. And I would look at these rooms, and I was like, yo, I want these rooms.
So you do the flooring and everything?
Yeah. Shout out to Grayman Wilson. His guy put this floor down. He actually paid him for me. That's the only thing I didn't do in this room is this laminate floor.
That's my dog too. Good
other than that, I had my boy come and hang the TV, paint it. Everything just came together after a while. So when these rooms would clear out, I would go to my landlord and be like, I want the room. I got the studio 2010. I got this room 2013. The room next door 2016, and the big room 2017.
Wow.
But I had saw the big room one day just randomly, and I was like, yo, I gotta get this room. But then some dudes came in and they was like doing like mixtures of like vape liquid or whatever.
Yeah.
They was there for like a year and they left. And when it became available, I'm like, I gotta get this room. And first and foremost, like none of this be possible without God's permission.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, He's blessed
absolutely.
like greatly.
Absolutely.
Aside from that, I had to put in the work here on earth, you know what I mean? So when I got the room, I'm just like, let me get to work.
You've always been putting in the work. I mean, even like when you were downtown, from downtown till now, like I think, you know, God puts certain people in your path. You know what I'm saying? Like when you and I first met, you've always been around good people. I always instantly knew you were a good dude. So that's why it was like easy for me to just say, hey man, like what do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like what can I help out with? Same thing with you. What do you need? What can I help out with? I think that there's not enough of that in the world. You know what I mean? Like we're always so far, you know, withdrawn from people and trying to push people away. And you know, I think if we realize that there's strength in numbers, you know what I mean? I guess that's why we're all here right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
I remember the day you pulled up, I needed some help with actually the whole rent for that month. He was like, I got you. He pulled up downstairs, rolled on the window, and just gave it to me like nothing. Never asked for anything. Never asked for it back, nothing.
Remember the time I asked you for that money and said you ain't have no money?
You different, nigga.
Yeah.
You good, man. You street alumni, you know what I'm saying?
But
Nah, that's solid though.
Nah, that's
going back to the room, just looking at it, it was like all green, man. It was wild. I'm like, I see it. I see the vision. So I wanted a dedicated video room. But since then, it's been a video room, a podcast room, a event room, big, large, crazy. Shout out to All Black City. Had the craziest Halloween party. It was like people coming in droves. It was wild.
Wow,
You know what I mean? To the smallest thing, like one person being in there. So I just saw the vision, just like, yo, this is all I want it to be now, and made it just that.
That's dope.
You know?
How do you feel? Like, is it with everything that you have to do with? Like, does it feel? Do you get a different feeling from one person being there, or to like 100 people being there? Like, from with something that you create?
I did.
Yeah.
But it's been done, so it's just like my vision's come to life. I'm like, yo, I want a party here. I want to see how many people I can have in here.
Right.
I've seen how many people can actually be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just like now, I know I could do bigger. I could do better.
But can you, not to cut you off, can you still get that same feeling with a project that you put into with one person? You feel what I'm saying? I'm saying from the creative side. You know what I mean?
From the creative side, only to the point to where I'm like, if they're happy, I'm happy.
Right.
And I help them do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at this point right now, I'm like, I'm ready to go bigger. You know the story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's here or somewhere else, like we gotta get back to the community, because at the end of the day, we getting gentrified, and somebody gotta step in. You know what I'm saying? And like really just hold down a part of where we come from,
Right.
so we ain't all wiped out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's the ultimate goal, to have something that's ours, and so our people won't feel like they got let down. Because there's a lot of cats, tons of talent here,
Right.
but everybody always wants to leave. Nobody actually wants to put in that groundwork to actually try to make it happen. You know what I mean? But if I leave, I don't plan on leaving. Because I actually like the Four Seasons, but I don't want to leave and not really try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say I actually try, I tried. You know what I mean? So
And sometimes maybe leaving is just part of the growth, but it's the key shit. The cliche shit is that remembering where you came from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
always.
Because even to excel out of here, you come from here, and these are the people that help you no matter what. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like you said, sometimes you need to move with growth, but it's just remembering where you came from and keeping that mind state. You know what I mean? That you want to feed the community and you know, keep that connection and shit.
Definitely recognizing, you know, remember when you came from, and also recognizing your blessings. Like I gotta say that, you know, meeting the two of you, that's always been a big blessing, because like Joe and I can go days, months, years without talking, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're together sitting in the basement coming up with an idea to do a podcast. Same thing with you and I. You know what I mean? And then once we've kind of perfected that idea and then added you and your power to it, and thank you again for just blessing us with everything that you've been able to, because what For the Record has morphed into and what it's going to be, we're doing a pretty good job, and I'm grateful for both of you guys. You know, saying like I can't say that I could do this alone. You know what I mean? But again, knowing I'm one of those believers that, you know, God puts people in your path, and when you choose to, you know, work with them, He puts them in your movie. For if they're a permanent member of your cast, it'll be a great movie.
Yeah.
You'll ride into the sunset together. And you guys have been a permanent member of my cast because I've known you guys for forever.
Nice.
You know, Kodak with instant bond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, right? Yeah.
Just meeting you at the station and talking to you and vibing with you and doing music with you and just listening to your thoughts. It's it's been truly a blessing to know you and just vibe with you, you know, on the phone. It was just like a brother that I never had. You know what I'm saying?
It comes so easy. It comes so easy.
Definitely one of the dopest lyricists that I've met in a very, very long time.
Appreciate that.
Prolific thinker.
Appreciate
You
that.
know, so what made you do that? What made you get into music? Like, cause
music, period.
There's certain people who know you for music, and there's certain people who know you for just
radio,
the radio.
things, yeah.
So
T-shirts, whatever, like construction, whatever it takes.
And that's crazy because all y'all are involved with T-shirts.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the music was always like, that's the common thing. Music brought me to it. Like I just was attracted to the music. My sister, just with this Rakim thing, she had a Rakim poster and she loved Rakim. And I didn't really understand why. Now I definitely get it. But she was like the catalyst. Like my sister she even had us writing rhymes. Like I'm D-ski, she's E-ski. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
The ski era.
Should have never told me.
Everybody's in the ski era.
Yeah, D-ski, man. I mean, very cool.
goodness.
But it was good, you know what I'm saying? And she got me into it, and it was just like, you know how the music is. Once that music get in you, I don't think you can ever shake. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, whether you venture off into different things, you never shake the music because it's just one of those things that speak to your soul, I would imagine, you know?
Yeah.
I just love it. Like not even to, and when you say, so boom. So when we get to the lyrics, I always took that real serious. Like to the point where that mumble rap and all that, it's cool. Like I don't even knock it. Like I'm not even knocking nothing nobody's doing. But me personally, I need that. It don't even have to be like real lyricy. It just gotta.
You need substance.
Yeah, it gotta have some substance. You don't even have to be killing the words. None of that. Just breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like let it out. Like DMX. Like DMX wasn't super lyrical, but he
Yeah,
gave it
passion.
to you.
Yeah, he had a
You know
certain
what I'm
passion.
saying? Gave it to you, and other artists too.
I gotta say that he's been a good addition to the For the Record crew.
Nah, niggas been
He's been the wild card addition to the For the Record crew.
I gotta say that because I feel like me and Kodak see eye to eye. It's like me and Kodak be going at it sometimes.
Because we came from that hood, man. You know?
We came from the same. Yeah,
we walked by each other a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we kind of. Yeah, you and I met, bro. I can't. You know, I just can't remember like You know, it's a lot of shit that goes on in the street, and as you grow up with meeting people, and you know what I mean, having friends, and it's sad that meeting genuine friends, probably like it's like an 80%. Like meeting new friends at a certain age, it's not the same like the kids that you grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Like you and I, we known each other since kids. We didn't stay in contact. We had that kid connection.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's a friend. You feel what I'm saying? Like he's a friend. Like niggas that I met 16, 17, and 18, there's some niggas that I love, but there's some niggas that they just like, You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me and Kodak, like,
Leave him or take
it's
him.
just different. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga's my friend. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like, for real, so
like you, some people you meet, like, business, like you and I, like, we're bros. You feel what I'm saying? Like, our relationship has grown to that because of what we, working with each other business wise and shit like that. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have this relationship.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If you was just like a nigga I met in the street, it'd be like, yo, what's up? Me and you'll probably be seeing each other like, oh my God. You know what I mean? I don't know this nigga, man. This nigga always speaking to me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you be honest, I don't know shit, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't fuck with niggas, bro.
Who is this guy?
Who
is this guy?
You can't fuck with everybody, bro.
Nah, you can't. And like you said, certain people are placed in your life, and I believe that too. You know what I'm saying? I believe that is because who would have thought? You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought we'd all came together like this later on? You know what I mean? Like, I always think about stuff like that. And
But you was solid too, though. Cause go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. You can speak. I just wanted to make that point. It's like amazing to me. Like, getting older, you think about things. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it with a different perspective now. But I always felt it. It was always like a feeling, like just knowing you, like the feeling that I have for you. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? Nah, you gotta clear it up. There. Sorry, you gotta do it.
Yeah, for the record.
Yeah, for the record, you gotta clear it up. Not like that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can just
but you know what, man? Nah.
Get ready to laugh.
Oh, God.
Hold up. But I'm gonna let you get back to that. Kenny's and I was talking earlier. We gotta stop that, man.
What?
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying? Because you should be able to, like, we're grown men. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to be like, yo, man, I love you. I love what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? It should be simple like that. We've made that weird. You know what I'm saying? We've made that weird to be like, yo, man, I love everything about what you do, bro. You know what I'm saying? And who you are.
Right. And I'll be real. That's why I said it, because I'm honest like that. Like,
Kenny's face.
I think Kenny's is
the face is so priceless.
You know what? It's like I think Kenny's fuck with a lot of that age range because what he does, he's media, he's pictures, he's you feel it? So when he's around, a lot of motherfuckers that's no more. You know what I mean? Like niggas be saying that shit around me. I be like, bro, like what's good with you? Like what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like.
I'm just a clown.
Nah, I know. I mean, nigga,
we
know. This nigga call me and be like, "Yo, this shit."
The steak episode takes it to the
what?
moon. The steak episode.
No.
You ever go out for that?
I don't want to know what that steak episode was. I don't even think I want to know.
I don't even want to put that shit. I don't even. He's still talking about that shit.
It was hilarious, bro.
He called me with that shit like that.
I was over here doing the boards that day, and I was just like, "Where are we going with that?"
Step out of that.
It's all clown, man.
It had to be here. You probably didn't catch it.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
But back to my point, like even me and Kay, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like a vibe thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm real good with vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been like that since I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I think that even saved me in certain situations because coming up in the streets, you better have something extra. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be out here just trusting everything. So. Just the way I could pick up on people's vibes and not even necessarily analyze them, but just feel people out. Mm-hmm. I've been good with it, and I get that same feeling from this brother. It's like, and I only knew you since we started this. Like, I knew of you. You know what I'm saying? I always knew of you, but I didn't meet you.
Everybody knows of Kenny.
Everybody knows of this guy.
So Kodak.
Especially the school security guard. You know about him.
I didn't know you got
that keyboard.
Oh.
I have an off the wall question.
Have you ever been
off the wall question? Have you ever been locked up?
No. Wait. Fine. Hold on.
Define.
Listen.
Have you ever been just locked up? Have you ever been in jail?
Define it?
What you mean? Have you ever been in jail? Because we just discovered that he's got locked up before.
No.
Okay. You?
Not okay. No. I feel why he said define it because jail is like, yo, you're doing this.
Yeah. I'm not talking about
just in lockup. Yeah,
just in lockup. Yeah. You been in lockup?
I've never been locked up.
Oh, okay. Damn, you said that like.
Not feeling because it ain't nothing
like you were super official about that.
I feel so. You know why? Because And I say this, like you asked me that. I've done a lot of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank God. I say this because I never wanted to be locked up.
Right.
And I watched a lot of motherfuckers get locked up. And again, with the word that, because I always do that when people ask me that. But I never wanted to get locked up. And one of my things today is with the kids in the neighborhood is we don't have to get fucking locked up.
Nah.
It's something that we need to teach them, that we don't have to get locked up. Like motherfuckers is really thinking that locked up is a trophy.
Yeah, like that's cool.
It's a
Like,
rite of
You feel what I'm
passage.
saying? Like,
So it's a
hell
rite
no,
of
nigga, I ain't
passage.
never been locked up. I ain't never want to be locked up. You motherfucking right.
I asked that question because I thought it was interesting that
He's been locked up.
that you
You'll
went
be
through that
surprised
whole
at the
thing.
people that's been locked up, bro.
Yeah.
But see, that's why you never judge a book by its
no,
cover.
no.
You feel
That
what
was
I'm
a
saying?
great story, by the way.
Yeah, that was too good.
Do you have any more jail stories in these?
Nah,
It's just that one time. That was it.
that was it.
In and out.
Yeah. Like, of course, you know, all my brothers were in and out of jail, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
You're the
yeah,
young.
my
Are you
brother-
young? You're not the
I'm the
youngest.
youngest,
You are the
yeah.
youngest. Okay.
And you know, my brother Ray, he just came home from doing 30. So one of my things was, even though I was doing shit, I would always try to be as careful as I can, even though the streets are what it is, and I was
Yeah, I
fully in
remember.
that shit. Y'all all know me. What I'm saying is that my goal was to never get locked up. You feel what I'm saying? Because I never wanted my mother to see me go
Right.
through the shit all my other brothers
Went through. Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I was strategic. I was learning all the motherfuckers around me. I was learning from all their fucking mistakes as I was growing up.
Yeah,
I was a sponge, bro. I was
That's
soaking
big.
everything up. Everything that when motherfucker was like, that was stupid as fuck what he did. I was taking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still move with it to this day. Like, you know what I mean? Because those are the things that you got to take heed to. You feel what I'm saying? You overlook motherfuckers just sitting there. It ain't even got to be a conversation, and you ain't got to be ear hustling. Motherfuckers talk.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So all you got to do is sit there and you listen to the right thing. You're going to be like, yeah, he did some dumb shit. You feel what I'm saying? And it's listen, check this out, right? Motherfuckers, weed is legal now, right? But motherfuckers used to ride around all day smoking weed and selling drugs. I mean, that's probable cause right there. I've been in a car and had so much drugs in the fucking car. Me and my man got pulled over one time on the highway. I kid you not, this no bullshit. Me and my man got pulled over on the highway. We had mad drugs. The way I don't want to get into that, but we would keep our shit, the way I was raised, keep my shit on me. You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Because you know how it was, you would go to the city and get that shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So my shit
I
was...
don't know anything about that.
Huh?
Okay.
All right, well, for the record, this is how I was brought up. Keep my shit on me. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm on the highway with my shit. The police come, you ain't just pulling over. You toss your shit out the highway, they pick all that shit up and come bring it back. They did their job. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I was raised, like, you know what I mean, to move like that. So I started saying something, but you threw me off with whatever the fuck you were saying, but you don't know about that. It was a reason for me saying this.
It's my job to throw you off.
Good fucking job, bro.
It's my job. I'm
Good
put
fucking
here
job.
in your life to throw you off
I started
completely.
to go down probably a fucking lane.
Because Joe be like this. He'd be like, yeah, man, so what I was saying, I just come over and be like, no! He'd be like,
Right.
Yo, man, come on.
Right. But it's interesting.
10 and 2, man. 10 and 2. What is it?
Good job. Nigga, like, listen, we all come from something. You know what I mean? I don't glorify shit that I ever did, like, in a negative way. You know what I mean? In a wrong way. It's nothing cool about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We are here. That's why we here. That's why I started this podcast, because I want to get I want to enlighten people. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I want people to see and hear, like, our past shows. You know what I mean? Scott X, Jungle Rose podcast. You know what I mean? Who else? We had a lot of people.
Rex.
I mean, Rex.
Yeah, Rex.
I mean, we had great guests up here.
Easy.
You know what I mean? for Manny,
Bragg, Phil, Bragg.
I mean, yeah, we
Easy,
had
Preston,
great guests up here. You know what I mean, from different walks of life. And our thing is to let not to get like one of my things I always say on the podcast that y'all probably hear me tell guests is it's not to talk. We're not, even with the story you was about to say a second ago when you almost mentioned somebody. It's like it's not about talking about nobody, but it's about telling your story, being okay to tell your side of the story.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If somebody have to feel a certain way about what's legit about your side, like I could tell my story. You can't tell me I can't tell my story. I don't give a fuck what you say. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I ain't gonna talk about nobody, throw nobody under the bus. But if it involves you and I'm telling my part, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you feel what I'm saying?
I always say, if you don't want to feel funny when people telling stories, don't do grimy shit.
Right. But I'm only telling the story because, listen, I promise you right now, you can't find a motherfucker. You can't bring, and this is for the record. I don't know what camera's on me, but I promise you can't bring a nigga. You can't bring all of the business that y'all know I've dealt with, the business people I've worked with. You cannot bring me one person that I've dealt with in business that said I've done them dirty.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I promise you, for the record.
I pride myself on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that, I've always loved about you as well as Kenny. I mean, you guys have always been just good dudes across the board. No one can ever say anything bad. But same thing with you,
Yeah,
Kotick, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's like, oh, you rocking with Kotick, you know what I'm saying? Yo, he's crazy, man. I love that. That's all.
No,
that's all they say.
No,
you know what I mean?
That, man, because...
And everybody is always like, you're a mystery to everybody. Seriously, you're like the Tyler Perry of New Haven.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and then you'll see his logo and be like, oh, this motherfucker.
Exactly.
This right here.
Yeah. And then just you know everybody. Everybody knows you. You've been around for so long. So, I mean.
Well, when you say I've been around so long, it sounds like, like some Jedi shit. It sounds like, I do know a lot of people. Though.
You are a Jedi. You're a young Jedi.
He's one of those guys.
Give you that.
Like, I don't know what to call. Maybe a connector. It's like different. I can't really put my finger on it, but you're just one of those guys.
I appreciate that. I think we all are. Let me ask you something, Kotick. You was about to say something?
No, I was about to go to the catalog, but you go ahead.
Into what catalog?
This catalog.
Oh no, we got that's the weight. We coming for that.
We coming for that. We coming for Tyler Perry.
Why coming for me?
All right, listen. Yo, I know you fuck with music though, and I know because a lot of people don't know you was working. Are you still at the radio station?
Yeah.
So of course. So you are at the radio station. I know we always talk about music. We always kick it, and we talk about like content and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like you were just saying. How is it for you working at the radio station and you get like you do your interviews and your shit like that? When you get that shit that you not really up for hearing, what is your take to it from a professional level? Like, is it because I want you to answer, but I want to kind of like. I don't want to call you fake, bro, because that's what I know you're not. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? And I understand that. I want you to know that. But how do you interact with them opposed to what you really like? You understand what I'm saying?
Because me personally, I just step back from being a critic. You know what I mean? Like, I personally don't feel what you're doing, but I'll probably pick something that I like about this person, like his drive or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'll kind of ride with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not there to judge nobody. Like, I'm quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm quiet until it's time to really talk about what I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it didn't even really matter. I heard terrible things. You know what I'm saying? As far as songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I heard good ones. But I never put that on nobody. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what you could do. I give them my advice of what I think and stuff like that. But I never really criticize.
From a rotation standpoint, though, what do you do from a rotation standpoint? Like, do you open up to what the audience want, or do you grasp to like what you like? You know what I mean?
Nah, I never really my position wasn't really to control the playlist or you know what I mean? Like that. I was more like the anti to the nonsense or the system. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I put myself in that position because that's how I feel.
So if there's niggas that came in there that you like and their music, you just fuck with them. If the other
Rock
niggas
with 'em.
is, they ain't right, you just like, I let these niggas rock.
Let them rock, let them do what they gotta do, and not build relationships.
Nah,
like,
right.
So you
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's smart though. You don't stop the relationship, and that's very smart.
no,
That's very
no.
smart.
And
you
that's
keep the relationship.
Like me and Ace, you know what I'm saying? Like Ace was the guy. Like, let's get to that catalog. We're gonna get to this guy over here, the one that don't know how he got into stuff. You know, we're gonna get to him.
Right. But is it okay to say I fuck with you, but I don't fuck with your music?
Yeah, it's okay to. I'm not verbally say it, but you know.
Why not verbally?
Because you don't really want to. I really don't. Me personally, I really want to damper nobody's. Or rain on their parade. Like I really want.
You see what I'm saying?
A
though?
lot of
It's
people
like,
don't know how to handle that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I know, but
I
how do?
understand
But
how fragile
exactly. But how do
the
you
artist
handle
is.
that? How do you handle that? You know me.
Bro,
How do you
I said,
handle?
It's not about like, you know what I mean?
I mean, you have to be mature enough to take constructive criticism.
Right.
And that's the problem. A lot of people aren't
They're
mature
not
enough
taking
to
it.
take that.
Fragile egos, and
You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
play with that. Like I'm not breaking nobody's ego because I'm not gonna stand and argue with you. I don't argue. So unless you're my girl, we gotta get it in. But whatever. You know what I'm saying? I only argue with
definitely gotta
females.
get it
Like,
in.
keep it real with you.
Right.
But whatever. Long story short, like I said, I'll take something else from him. Okay, so you got this guy come up, right? He's like just garbage. Not garbage, but he's not good. You know what I'm saying? But this dude promotion game is off the chains. You know what I'm saying? Like his work ethic is crazy. Like I'm more high like that.
Right.
Because you could find good in people. You know how they say it's good in every person.
Yeah,
You could
yeah,
find
yeah.
something good out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just ride that. But if you like ask me, I'd probably be like, yeah, straight. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell him that answer. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell him the answer.
Because it
Like,
probably
you know.
is straight though. It's just
Yeah,
not
it's
your cup of
straight,
tea.
yeah,
You
like,
feel what I'm saying?
I'm just not gonna diss
Right.
somebody like that. I try to stay away from that.
Have you ever heard some shit that you fuck with that wasn't your cup of tea? Like that shit is hot, but I can't fuck with it.
And I have been. That's why I stay open. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It don't gotta be all lyrical. Like I
Right.
said, if you came at that song, you could tell. It's a thing with music. You could feel that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it could come from anybody. You know what I'm saying? I think with music, freaking 6ix9ine could get in the booth. And
Bro, why out of all niggas?
Because I can't stand them, you know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
I don't
okay,
really
so
listen to
y'all
music.
should let you finish.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's
could
what
get
I'm
in the
saying.
booth, and if he did like a stand or something like that, you know what I mean? I gotta bring my boy Emma, right? But if he did like a song, like you know,
Out of all niggas, you are picking the right niggas tonight, boy. Woo.
I gotta do.
Oh
I gotta
man.
keep poking the bear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We gonna get to it. You keep it up.
But yeah, like I think if you, it's just that day in the studio, that beat just all comes together and it could be beautiful. And I think that could come from it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The right jump.
I guess.
You don't think so?
No, I agree. I had
You
to think
agree
about
that
I had to think
anybody
about
can make a hit at any
No,
given time?
that's not what I'm
No.
saying. That's not what
I
I'm saying.
wasn't gonna
think
say
so?
that.
When it all lines up, if it happens to line up, it could be anybody that makes that song that I'll be like, yo, that's actually tough. Anybody can't do this shit. Are you kidding me? You heard me in here. Like, man, anybody.
What about one hit wonders?
We gatekeepers, man. Ain't nobody. We the gatekeepers.
What about
Next season 2, I'm coming. Now he got me. He triggered me.
Yeah.
I'm coming with protect the culture shirts. Yeah. You want to do it? Shoot a love now. We can do it. Protect the culture
Yo.
shirts. You know what I'm saying? Because nah, man, I'm gonna be a gatekeeper for this, man. We all gatekeepers, man. Ain't letting that nonsense ride no more.
I don't know. One hit wonders. I don't know. I have no
Forget it.
comment
I'm
on
not
that.
talking about one hit wonders. I'm talking about that song. Like I say Stand because that's one of those songs that I'm just gonna like forever. Like I think that was so well put together.
So
you know what I'm
you
saying?
think you're a big Eminem fan?
No, I didn't say that. All I said was,
Yo,
And
why?
I'm not-
Why are you?
but I'm not even not an Eminem.
What?
fan. Like it ain't that. It ain't
Is
even
Eminem like your
necessarily-
top 5?
M got a song that's in my top song. But that's what I'm trying to do. But that proves my point. Nah, I'm not ever gonna back him. Like, it ain't about
Strategically
bashing.
trying to trigger him right now.
No,
Why is he trying to trigger you right now?
It's not about that. It's just
I'm just
that's
trying
what
to
I
figure
mean.
out-
Like that makes my point. You think I hate Eminem, but I think Stand.
I never said you hated Eminem.
Like,
I was just
that's one of
asking
my-
questions, brother.
But that's what I mean. It can come from anybody. That's what I meant by that. You know what I'm saying? Like Stand is the perfect example.
This conversation
Is he one of your
gonna
favorite
be-
artists?
Ace is definitely one of my favorite artists. Let me tell you why.
How did I get involved?
No, because he's coming to you. He's trying to turn the corner, but he put
How did I get involved there?
So we like the car jump.
He's
But
I thought we were closing out.
Nah, we
Closing out
went on
what?
a huge tangent, like way from the episode.
Who?
You
What?
asking him about the radio and artists.
No,
That's what he do.
yeah, that's what he do.
we get into you.
You had to get into that one.
Got you. All
We
right.
get into you, brother.
I was trying to get to Ace.
So Ace. Oh no, we're gonna end on the right note. So Ace.
All right, so we're closing out.
The
This
reason
episode.
why-
Now we gotta talk
The
about
reason
you. We ain't
why-
done yet.
Nah, we ain't done. You can't let him do it. The reason why he's one of my favorites is because this guy is like a chameleon. Like I can't even put a label on him. He'd come to the radio station, bring a song, and just be in the back, kind of with this like smirk on his face. Song comes on, like, yo, who is this new artist? Who is this artist? And he's sitting in the back, he's like trying to hold it in. He's trying to hold it in. Like, that's you. This guy.
Yeah.
HGO. Like, he just come reinventing himself, like, and does it with like, I don't think he put too much effort into it. I think he could just do it. And that was always amazing to me. Like, always.
No, it was really no effort. Right?
Always amazing to me. Not seriously.
Oh, look.
Always amazing to me. Like, the way he did it, like, you could call me Lyrical Miracle, but I don't know, like, I love it. I just love it. I can't even really put him in a category. You know what I'm saying? As far as the music, I can't even put him in a category.
I appreciate just music in general. You know, whatever genre it is. I listen to everything. So I think most of that reflects in what I do and just how I create things.
Definitely.
When you do create, is it like, are you creating with the purpose, or are you just like, because you do switch up, you change your voice a lot, you
All the
do
time.
like, and I know your licensing catalog is crazy. That's like one of the things Kenny's was saying that a lot of people don't know. Are you doing this purposely? Like, not when I say purposely, I mean like, are because I know like you and I do business too, and you call me and be like, yo, I don't want to say no random names that you're not affiliated. Or let's say you've done Tyler Perry.
Right.
Tyler Perry called and he need a song for this movie. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it could be The Quarterback. Let's just say that it's a sports movie. Do you go at it with that quarterback, like that hardcore sports tempo voice, or are you saying like, you know what I mean, like opposed to Medea's Christmas? You know what I mean? Like, is that what? How are you projecting that song? Like, are you saying to yourself, I need a song that's gonna sound, I need to put my voice like this, or I need to put my voice? You feel what I'm saying? Like, how are you going about that?
So usually when I get like a writer, they'll tell me exactly what they're looking for, whether it needs to be an aggressive scene or whether it's going to be, you know, something that's more soft spoken, and then I'll kind of go at it from that point. If it needs to be tailored, or if it needs to be something that I already have that I just been working on,
Right.
that might just happen to fit.
So you do that too. You got like shit in the stash. You just be like, so you constantly creating like on a regular.
It's just a you know, hey, you know what? I wake up and one day I might want to create, you know, Afro beats, and then one day I might want to create some crazy ska type stuff that just doesn't even make sense, or you know, we just put it in a stash, and then if I get a call for it, it's just like, hey, I happen to have this here.
Nice.
You know, I had a whole year where I had pulled out music that I had created, let's call it in the 50 Cent era, you know, whatever that was, late, 2000s, when G Unit was big. And I had a bunch of stuff that sounded just like that stuff. And someone called me, you know, in the 2020 era and said, hey, you know, we're looking for this that sounds like that. And I'm like, well, great. I got a crap ton of that stuff. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff ends up on Ray Donovan. So it's I don't really put a cap on it. I just go in, I just create whatever I feel. You know, I think that's the freedom that I've built and maybe earned over years to just do whatever I want to do. Like if I want to do a full, you know, boom bap project, which I'm actually going to be working on soon, then I'll do that, you know, because that stuff is coming back around. So I also look at trends, and I also look at, you know, what type of show it is, what type of movie it is, what type of video game it is. And I go, okay, this sounds like it may be a little something off the wall, and I'll go and I'll create that.
You produced the majority of it.
Majority of it, production-wise, is my partner FS in the city, or my other partner Mo.
Shout out to both of them.
Yeah,
From Purple House. Mo from Purple House and FS have been amazing. I mean, I've worked with a bunch of people who actually make
Pretty
the music.
much like in-house.
In-house,
Right.
You know, shout outs to De Niro, Mo, Enemy Child, you know, Purple House team and FS and his squad, Grady. So it's been in-house producers, and they just keep sending music. And when you have that many different people who are working on music, you're obviously going to get different, you know, different versions of everything, different genres. And then I just kind of go in and apply it, you know, apply my voice to it.
Let me ask you with I know we was talking about COVID earlier, like with licensing for movies and television. How did that affect you know your work did it have an effect? Because I'm thinking two ways. You know, with the movie theaters and shit, a lot of production and things slow down. You know what I mean? So I don't know if work slowed down or did it pick up from quarantine. You feel what I'm saying? So it's interesting. How did that balance out?
The funny thing for me through COVID, when everything shut down, at that very moment, it was like, okay, where's my income going to come from? At that, as soon as everything shut down, I had got a check from a commercial that I did for I don't even remember. It's like a meat company that's out of New York. I did basically a jingle for them. It was like something sausage.
I didn't even go to the poll.
You're not gonna go there though. If it was me or somebody,
Actually,
this nigga was at a meat company, serving
He said
sausage.
meat company, nah.
Oh, you fuck with him like that. Go ahead, finish.
It wasn't a pause moment.
It wasn't a pause.
It wasn't a pause moment.
No,
I work at this meat company serving sausage.
Nah, there was like, I work at this meat company. We kept slapping the meat on the belt. I think that's the pause moment.
I'm done with the pause shit.
He has
Niggas don't say nothing to me, pause, or nothing. Talk to me. If you know, it's a lot of, you can't speak.
Yo,
on
that's
it.
crazy.
You
So
can't
you did
speak
the
on
meat
shit.
jingle.
Yeah, skip
Now
right
that's
here.
a pause moment right there. That's
Nah,
a
it
pause.
was like meat jiggle.
Nigga, is it like a book or something that
Nah,
has this shit?
Yo, that's crazy.
I gotta show you this. They did it on the.
Is it? What is it?
It was a basketball, like a post game joint. It was hilarious. I gotta find it. I gotta show it to you.
Yo, that's a
It's just all for giggles.
Oh man,
It's definitely for fucking giggles. Definitely.
it's worthy. So I mean, actually, it was Eckrich Family Meats. It's you know, bacon, whatever. So I did a radio commercial for them. So again, COVID hits, boom, everything shuts down. I get that check. That check allowed me to float for a little while.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then, like I said, when I get sick, it's what's going to happen. You know, it's a conversation of what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen to my family. You know, does my wife know where everything's at? If I die with this, God forbid, you know, what happens? You know what I mean? So prior to that, I had done some spotted things, you know, some Disney stuff, some, you know, the Eckrich thing, like I just mentioned. And it was when I started feeling better, I think I had a conversation with you about, you know, I don't know, I went to creative mode, like ultra creative mode, because I just started feeling better. And I said, you know what, I need to just go and take this shot right now. And I just started creating a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
And
you did.
when things started to open back up, you know, I matter of fact, I believe I sent it all to you.
You did.
You know what I mean? And to get your opinion on when things started opening back up, I had probably created, if I have to put a number on it, I probably have a little less than 100 songs that I've created in that moment. In that I got better July. So let's say July to, I don't know, September, October, and you know, nervous about how it was going to be received.
Right.
You know, and I sent it out to a company, and I called you. I'm like, I just sent it. I just pushed the button. You know what I mean? And then within
after I had to make you push the fucking button, they called me. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's ready because and you can probably speak to this. Being a perfectionist, you know, you want to make sure that everything's there. It sounds right. It looks right. It's the visuals right, and that's why I was mixing it again. No, and you have a file that says mix number 50. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I think I should stop at this point in time. You know what I mean? But at that point, I was operating on my own. I was operating outside of, you know, the other producers. I'm just in my house creating and then teaching myself mixing and mastering. And sent the email off and got the connection within 10, 15 minutes. Hey, we love all this stuff. We want all of it. You know, and signed my first licensing deal, and that was crazy. You know, nice. If I didn't sit in that room and have that conversation with you, and then have to remind myself of, you know, what I've been through and who I am, I don't know that I've ever gotten to that point. You know what I mean? Because it was like
you wasn't who you normally were when we talked.
Right.
It was actually scary. Like, not in a, you know what I mean? It just was like, it was scary, bro. It was scary, and y'all about to have me say this shit again. But I was gonna say, like, it was scary in a way to where it was sad, bro. I felt for you. You know what I mean? Because our relationship has always been, I mean, we had bad moments. We know that. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about, like, to hear you in that state, bro, that shit was the craziest shit in the world. You know what I mean? And then they get, like, you don't mind me saying, like, some of the shit you were saying.
No.
Because it was just crazy, because it was like, you were just like, yo, I don't know, bro. Like, I think it's like, I'm like, nigga, you bugging. Not saying you was ready to hang up, but you was like, I think I'm probably not about to fuck with this shit. And I'm like, nigga, what? Like, you bugging. And then it was like, what, 1 or 2 later, that's when you called me with all of the shit. And you was like, yo, they want the shit. And that's when you doing the mixing and the mastering crazy. And I'm like, bro, just send that shit. You sent that shit the next day. They was like, yo, we good.
I mean, you know, that whole entire period, it made no sense. And even what's going on right now, it's like I created some stuff, and it got to the point where then I sat on it afterwards and let them do whatever they're going to do. And when I mean that, they basically go out and they try to find jobs.
Right.
They try to find placements and stuff like that. But even when it comes to like radio stuff, like all of a sudden out of that, I have music on the radio in rotation. You know, if I didn't go through what I went through with being quarantined and having COVID and having those thoughts of what's going to happen, what am I leaving here, I don't know that I would have created like that, because I was creating a bunch of stuff that was just all over the place. It was half R&B, it was hip hop, it was, you know.
Definitely turned into this whole R&B.
Yeah, during that time, you
So-
was floating stuff by me. You was floating stuff by me too. You was floating stuff by, not as much as, I mean.
Ain't nobody say he wasn't
Not
floating
the
nothing
guru,
by
you know
you,
what I'm saying?
Cuddy. Ain't nobody say I got more shit than you.
No,
I just fuck with
it ain't
you.
one of those things. It's just, you're the guru. You know what I'm saying?
How you sitting there?
You was floating stuff by me, and I was seeing this thing in you. Like, yo, you changed, you morphed into something else. You know
Paul
what I'm saying?
Thomas.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yo.
it wasn't necessarily just a genre that you went to. You know what I mean? And I definitely noticed it. Like, I could tell. From you telling me the full story now, I could tell all that stuff, that it was just you know what I'm saying, mixing, doing all this stuff, and I hear it. I can't.
It's crazy though, because you
I hear it.
pretty much do the music for licensing. So, which a lot of people don't hear licensing, and they don't know that it's technically movie music for TV and movies and commercials and shit like that.
Right.
And I think it's dope though, because a lot of artists, when we hear our certain artists that we fuck with or not fuck with, like Kodak.
Come on, man! I'm not the only person that don't.
I know Kodak. I don't. You know what I mean? No, just fuck around. Yo, but it's damn, y'all niggas be putting.
Nah, don't blame this one.
Sidetracking
No.
me, man. What the fuck was I talking about? Anyway, self-love club.
Shout out to Ammo Gift.
Yo, shout out to everybody, man.
And speaking of licensing, that was another thing.
That's what the fuck we was talking about. And see, you ain't want to let me finish. You knew what I was talking about.
I want to give him more props. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of licensing, you was the first dude that I knew personally that had placements and stuff like that. That was so interesting to me. Like,
yeah, you probably was the first person
that I knew
licensing.
personally. Yeah. That even I knew about licensing.
I actually don't know anybody else that does that. Fucking their licensing, yeah.
You're still the only guy.
You're good, Carter, because you made me think of what I was talking about, and all I was going to say is that you create so much music, and you was hearing so much different shit. Is because you strategically create music for all different types of shit with licensing.
Which is dope.
So that's what I was saying. You see how that comes back?
Yeah, it always does. Man, come on, man. It's all love.
Good, man.
It's all love, man.
I mean, it's allowed me to stand, the test of time and just keep constantly recreating myself because I got to a point where it's like I got tired of people calling people to come to the studio.
Oh, I know about that.
Gotta do it.
They just don't show up, they don't come. It's just like all of a sudden, no, I don't need you to come in. It's all right. It's already done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean it's already done? Well, I did your voice and I did my voice. And I did the hook.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
So it's like, I don't necessarily need you to show up anymore. Like, okay.
Like everybody's voice.
So, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so they're like, yo, we need you to do, I got a call one time for, we need you to do a Flow Rider type song. All right, cool. I'm doing the backgrounds, I'm doing the chant, I'm doing this, I'm doing the vocals, I'm doing the singing on it. And they were like, yo, so how do we break this down as far as the clearance, as far as who we have to, they're all me.
Easy.
And it's like, wait, okay.
Said it this way.
Haunted.
You know what I'm saying?
Haunted. Do you make it just like 100% when you was doing that, or is it just like 50-50? Do you split it up with the producer and the writer being just
if it's me and the writer, I split it 50-50.
No, nigga, it's all you though. It was a joke.
No, but it's a valid question because before it was like even with Northern League, the majority of it still was me, and at that point it's like if I'm doing 100% of the work, I'm not giving 50% to someone who's doing 20.
Yeah, but who? Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's sketchy. I don't
Got
it! Yeah, let me get your will, brother. You might want to edit that shit, Kenny's.
No.
You might want to edit that shit.
No edits.
You was talking about my contracts, nigga? Did you hear that?
No edits. No edits involved.
Shit.
If you're doing the work,
then
you
still trying to clean up? Go ahead, my bad.
No, I'm not cleaning up at all. If you're doing the work, then you get compensated properly. If you're not doing the work, then you get what you put in.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it gets to a point where I'm the only person that they know and it's a group, that's something wrong. It's not wrong with me. It's wrong with that other person.
That sounds like some Fire Heartbeat shit.
Nobody
come to see you.
No, but it's definitely it's definitely allowed me to recreate myself over the years, and
you do it well too, man. Anybody could talk about recreating themselves, but
speaking of reinventing and recreating, we've created some great outside of all of our box, and that's For the Record podcast, and we've been doing great. And that's what this is about. And we're heading into season 2.
Season 2, baby.
Shit's been good, man. Watch this.
See? This is... See? Oh, yeah. That's talking about being behind the camera a lot.
I fucked it all. I was like, that's John Travolta.
That's John Travolta, bro.
How he was doing that shit? Oh, he was doing that shit. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's
Something
doing
like
some
that.
John Travolta stuff.
Motherfucker was
He's,
doing that shit so many different ways. I was looking, I was just like, hey, fucking hush your whole shit up.
that's a whole nother conversation. Like that whole music, that whole R&B conversation. So from verses to Usher to Drew Hill, there's a couple things that were going on in that entire time.
Wait. Versus.
So the verses thing. I gotta turn my hat back for this one. So the verses thing with Ray J and all them. That's one disappointment, and I'll say that of R&B. But then you have like almost the rebirth of R&B days later with Usher doing that Tiny Desk appearance, which was amazing.
I didn't even see that. I have no clue what the fuck y'all talking
Oh
about.
man, you gotta watch the Usher Tiny Desk
What was it on?
on YouTube.
NPR.
Yeah.
I totally missed that.
Yeah.
He put it down.
Have you ever seen any
he
of
was
them
going
before?
in.
No.
Oh wow, you gotta watch Tiny Desk, man.
Oh,
Tiny
Tiny
Desk is good.
Desk
Yeah,
is like the unplugged shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Usher did that?
Yeah, Usher
I didn't
did
know
it.
that.
And
I know you're talking about.
He had Eric Bellinger and Vito as his background.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Exactly.
I mean, Eric Bellinger, you know what I'm saying, is
Wrote most of Usher's
yeah.
everything.
I mean, they're three dope, really dope artists.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like a refresh from that bullshit ass verses.
They might need to stop verses at this point.
You know, so
It's not what it used to be.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
what it.
it's-
It's
I
not
think it's
what.
running out of
I like the
steam.
verses. I like that. See, this is the type of shit that I love. I love the verses when what's the old boy from Atlanta? Who the fuck was that? Was it Dream? And what's the name of them niggas? Was like the whole day they was like hitting each other on their social media, like, oh nigga, you ain't gonna do shit when I do this, blah blah. I talk to
Dream
you.
of music?
What?
Was it music?
music.
No,
So
it wasn't music. It was the producer. What was the producer? What's the producer that used to fuck with? He was working with Avery out in Atlanta. Sean Garrett.
okay.
Remember, it was Sean Garrett and I think the Dream, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
That
he
shit
doing
was.
Me either, yeah. No, I missed that.
Oh my goodness, it was like the
right,
first
let's find
one, bro.
out.
You gotta find. That was like one of the first one. These niggas was in the mall. Oh nigga, I'll be there at 7:00. Whoa, 7. That's when motherfuckers was doing them shits from their studio. From
Right.
their
Yeah,
kitchens,
I like
you
that.
know what I mean?
Yeah, that was better.
that was that vibe. That was the vibe. Now this shit is just a concert. I don't you know what I mean?
If it's a concert and it's a like you're just paying homage to like good R&B or good hip hop, that's one thing. But like to put what was it, Mario and Omarion?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Mario
like
just Mario washed.
Yeah, he was
Omarion
supposed to
completely
watch.
up.
Mario
sings.
Mario sings. You know what I'm saying?
saying?
Marion
Omarion does whatever, you know. But that whole thing was a disappointment, man.
Yeah,
And then a couple nights later, there was the Drew Hill thing, where they did a show and they were great. And they
What's in
brought-
your CD player right
That's
now?
nice.
in my CD player
Yeah.
right now?
Like not CD. I'm using the term CD player,
yeah.
but I
What
mean,
am I
like,
listening to?
what are you listening to right now?
Like
What are you playing the most?
Maverick City.
Maverick City.
Do you know Maverick City?
No, what is that?
Maverick City is would you call it?
Maverick and Kirk.
Actually, no. I'm listening
Or
to
just them by themselves?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I know they're on tour. We actually did an album with them, but
Yeah, Maverick City did
What genre is that?
gospel.
Well,
Oh,
more
word.
inspirational,
Yeah.
gospel, worship type, inspirational.
Maverick City, man of the word, man of your word is was always has been a really big song for me. But so it's my playlist is probably extremely weird and crazy. So Maverick City, Chris Brown,
New album.
the new album,
Yeah,
Audio Slave.
Chris Brown here right now too.
Yes, he is.
I sold my Chris Brown tickets because I had to shoot the podcast, guys.
For real?
He had to do the podcast, so that's dedication.
Big up to you, man.
Good job.
Big up to you.
You don't want to clap your fucking hands?
Me too. I give up a job. Somebody call me for a job.
Oh, they call you for a job? Man? Oh, it's good.
So I'm listening to everybody who you
yeah.
have no idea who they are,
Yeah, huh?
except for Chris Brown. Maverick City, Chris Brown, Audio Slave, Bino Redu, and Blast. You probably know who Blast is.
I don't. I heard of him last time because you
Yeah, you mentioned Blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a Blast.
That's my
yeah, because I don't know who Blast is. Shout out to not knowing.
But you should check out Maverick City. Though. You would like Maverick City.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
What you listen to, Kodik?
Right now, Lupe Fiasco, he
Classic.
put out something new, and Kendrick Lamar, basically.
Why you watch say like 3:05? Philip has watched the whole time. I'm like, what time? I'm like, yo.
I didn't know that. I should have been still right because my shit, bro.
Cause Joe be out here like niggas is on my time.
My shit stopped when I take it off, bro.
Oh, and Eminem.
You don't listen to it. Get the
Jack
fuck out of
Harlow.
there. You go crazy.
Actually, I'm listening to
Kenny,
Jack
you might
Harlow
well
too.
go before he go crazy.
I like Jack Harlow.
No, this nigga right here.
You
about
like
to go
Jack Harlow?
crazy.
You know, you're not really into Jack Harlow.
Jack
I like Jack
Harlow?
Harlow.
They trying to,
Who you listen to, Kenny?
trigger me. Nah, it ain't that.
On your shit?
Right now I got the it's just a playlist of just
Oh, you got just like a wild.
it's just instrumentals.
Wow.
What is it?
What you writing rhymes?
Of
Kenny's
You writing
freestyle.
rhymes?
it's just beat instrumentals.
Really? Like,
Like lo-fi beat instrumentals.
okay, lo-fi stuff
Yeah,
though.
that's it. That's what I'm at.
I got a lot of lo-fi playlists on Spotify.
Yeah, if we say our playlist, that means like what we're actually listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm listening to this.
No, I like
audiobook
really
full
what
by
you listening
randomness.
to. What you listening to the most? Like,
Right now, yeah, I could say Lupe and Kendrick right now. Latest project. Yeah.
so yeah, no, I don't know a lot of those people that you.
should-
I'm gonna check them out. But I listen to so much different. Like,
Yeah, because I got to edit this and I'm going to be sitting here for an hour and a half.
Oh shit.
Cutting angles.
All right, cut.
Whoa.
Did we just cut?
Wrap up season 1.
Let's talk about facts when I say that I've been here a while.
Raw.
Walk in my shoes, I can tell you won't
Season
make a
2
mile.
coming.
Make a mile. I am the judge and the jury, so put them on trial. Murder is foul. Allow me to teach you new theory. The purpose is vile. There's no coming back, so you can eat shit with a smile. I've been in the game, ran up the bag just to put it in the